Joanne just. All right, so I'd like to welcome everybody, especially George and Claire, who are joining us here at the Prospect Senior Center to learn what we do at the Greater Waterbury Transit District. And as I was telling them that we are, that we only meet quarterly. There's 9 towns that are part of this collective, and that Joanne still having problems. That this is all about the bus service. So whenever they need bus service, they can call the senior center, and Susan will set them up for going to the doctor, pick you up and bring you back, the return time, and that every town pays into this service so that we can offer everybody a discount on the bus service. And right now it's $3.50 for one way. So $7 round trip versus $14 round trip. Okay, so let's see who's on today. We have Elliot, Maria, Joanne. All right, I know Alita is not feeling well, so she's home. We have Lauren Rizzo is on. We have Stephanie from Cheshire. No. Joanne is here. How about Jan from Naugatuck? No. I'm here. Kathy from Thomaston? Not yet. Debbie, I'm sorry, Kathy Anderson from Southbury. Debbie from Thomaston. Myra from Waterbury. Lisa. Mary Marone. And Maria is here. Okay. So the first thing we do is we open this up for any public comment. Is there anything that any questions you have? Or is there anything that you would like to share with us? Like, have you used the bus service? Not yet. You haven't had to yet. You're just on.
But you answered what is that 5? And if 350 is one way, and we coordinate with a couple of things.
Yeah. So if you needed bus service, you would just call here, and Susan or whomever is at the desk will help you out with that. That's perfect. All right. So let's move on. Can I get a motion to have the December 14th minutes approved?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Thank you, Joanne.
Second.
I'll second them.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody
I know.
seconded.
Okay, all right. We have a little competition here because there's piano lessons going on behind us. Okay, so Elliot's going to talk about the financial update and the ridership.
Can you mute yourself while I do this? I'm gonna turn my sound on.
Yes.
Good morning, everyone. I'm gonna share my screen. All right, here are the financials through January. Nothing has changed. We are still waiting on the DOT to execute the contract so we can pay NET. We're working on that. Hopefully we'll.
On your PC.
It is. It's the screen. So we'll get that figured out soon, hopefully, but other than that, no updates. And then ridership, similarly, not a huge update. Looks like in November, dollar ride ridership was down. But it has gone back up. And non-ADA ridership has stayed relatively steady. But looks like that's it for ridership and financials.
This is the blind leading the blind today. Put your microphone on, turn it off, whatever. Okay, so the ridership has stayed pretty steady, which is good. Last year was a little bit lower in January, and that was probably more due to the pandemic than anything. All right, so Elliot, you want to talk about the non-ADA match in municipal dues? Because that's coming up now, right?
Yeah, I will talk about the budget. I'll share my screen once again. This, that should say FY 2024 at the top there, actually. But anyway, nothing has really changed in terms of expected revenue and expected expenses. The only thing is that we still haven't decided whether or not we will be doing an audit. So that is the only thing that is unclear. But if we do not do an audit, then our expenses will be lower than expected. As you can see, these two highlighted things, the $2,000 liability and $2,500 for the financial audit, we won't need if we obviously don't do an audit. And the bottom right hand corner, you can see here, that leaves us 87 in the positive. I'm happy to answer any questions. I don't know if there will be any. Otherwise, the recommended action would be a motion to approve the 2024 budget.
I will make that motion to approve the budget.
Thank you, Joanne. Second? I know Alita's trying to say that, but she's on mute. So I'll say it. I'll second the motion.
Can I do it too? Can I-
No, because you're not a member of the board.
I have to be the
Yes,
board.
right. We, just so you know, we normally have a financial audit. We've had them every year. And it's just to make sure that our books are, you
And
know,
what-
I mean, there's not a lot of activity really. But it's part of what we do. We have an audit. And last year we contracted with the same people who have been doing it for quite some time, and they got all our paperwork. And then when it was due, they came back and said to us, we really can't do this for this amount of money. You're going to have to pay us more. So now it's a matter of, do we need to have the audit? And does that affect us getting insurance?
So you hired an independent contractor.
Well, yeah, we did. We hired a CPA firm that, so that's in the works right now. We have to figure that out. Are we gonna continue get another firm to do the audit so that we can have the insurance? And that's,
Oh, so you have the auditor, you
Right.
have insurance.
yeah, it's part of getting insurance is to have a financial audit.
So without the
Can I
audit,
interrupt?
Well, I'm sorry, Trish, what are you
Auditing
saying?
firm- I'm sorry, Betty, the auditing firm that had been doing it just came back and said they were not going to be doing it anymore. And
They're
that
not
was
gonna do
what
it
they
anymore.
said what it was doing. Right. We contacted the Naugatuck+Valley auditing firm and they said it would cost a lot of money and it wouldn't be a true audit. It would just be a financial report, but it would cost a lot more money for the financial report. And as far as the liability insurance, they won't issue the liability insurance unless we have an audit report. So it's all entangled. That's all.
Okay, great. Thanks, Trish. Yeah, it originally was 2,500. Now they wanted to charge us like 10,000. Yeah. Okay. All right. So moving on, Maria, you want to give us a report from Northeast Transportation?
Nothing new really to report. The only thing is possibly, I think next month, we might be going back to our fairs.
Oh, it might be going back to the fairs. Okay, that hasn't
Yes.
been decided up in Hartford yet.
No, but if it's gonna, I think, occur April 1st.
Ah, okay. So there was free bus transportation. You got on the big buses,
Which affects ADA.
which in fact, yeah, so ADA, ADA travel. But now there's a bill up in Hartford to rescind that and start charging again.
right, read that in the paper, so you're saying because
Yes.
of COVID, because of, they did stop charging. And
Mhm.
now they're looking to, okay, I read that in the paper.
Yes, correct. That was in the paper. All right. So the other thing that we wanted to talk about too is, do we want to continue to have these meetings at senior centers, or should we go back to having it a hybrid where we're either at the Naugatuck+Valley Council of Governments building with, being able to log in through Zoom?
Well, Zoom works for me because I'm still in the office, I'm here.
Yeah.
Our center is open for, if you would like to have a meeting here, I would certainly host it. That's not an issue. From what I'm seeing today, the turnout isn't that great.
Right, not even for the board today. I don't know what's
Right.
going on.
Right, and I can't remember if you said, did you want us to let you know if we were coming or not, but maybe there's a communication problem. I mean, in the agenda, it said that you could go on Zoom, because when I first went on, I said, oh, there's a problem. And then going into the agenda, it said you could connect to via Zoom through the agenda. Maybe they didn't see that.
Ah, okay. All right,
Yeah, I had an issue trying to log in through the Zoom link from the, what do you call it there, from the agenda. It's probably easier if we just get a separate link, if, the day before, a couple days before, from Lauren, just an email with the link, because it's more direct, I think.
I was
Okay.
also unable to, I'm on my iPhone because I was unable to use the link that was on the agenda.
okay, all right, that's good feedback. All right, we'll talk with Rich about doing that. Okay. And we have somebody from the Waterbury Senior Center intern. I don't recognize you. Who are you? Take yourself off mute, thanks.
Hi, my name is Geraldi Dessalines. So I'm interning at the Waterbury Senior Center for the spring semester. Myra
Excellent.
Myra isn't able to attend, so I'm attending in her place today.
Excellent, great, welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so do we want to go to see Joanne in Middlebury for our June meeting, or do you want to meet at the Naugatuck+Valley Council of Governments and still have a capability to Zoom? I know everybody's in their offices and everybody's really busy, so I don't know if maybe just having Zoom is the best option at this point, if we're not going to have a lot of interaction with our people who may or may not use our services.
Either way works for me. I mean,
Yeah, I'm good with staying with the Zoom, actually, at this point.
Okay, all right.
I think Zoom is probably the best way, because as we've noticed at both this meeting and the last one, there's been technical difficulties.
Yes.
Today, it's great to be at the senior center, but the space is not ideal and there's all kinds of noises.
Right.
So if there's another way that we can kind of get out to the senior centers a few times a year, that's not the board meeting, I think that would be,
Okay,
What is this building you're talking about?
it's in Waterbury.
So
But we could also just do it complete. I mean, I think we have to technically have a
there's no
in-person option maybe, but
still.
right. But what Elliot is proposing is that the board meetings continue through Zoom, and that perhaps we go out to the senior centers with our information, but all the senior centers have the flyers and everything that we've produced. So,
yeah.
but we could still check in with the senior centers,
I think it's good to have like a face
a face.
rather than just a pamphlet.
Yeah, right. Well, that's
Because
true.
You can answer questions, you can
Right.
add a little bit of nuance.
Okay, all right. So next month we'll just completely do Zoom. That's great. Or the June meeting. Okay. And then Elliot wants to talk about the Connecticut DOT microtransit pilot.
I don't understand.
Yeah, so last month, I think it was, or maybe the month before, the Department of Transportation released a notice of funding opportunity for a microtransit pilot program. For those who aren't familiar with microtransit, it's a service that is quite similar to like Dial-A-Ride. So you pretty much like Dial-A-Ride.
Is it? Because it's state, Dial-A-Ride, it's state, is what you're saying? Okay.
Well, microtransit is pretty much it depends on the exact program, but you pretty much get an app on your phone, or you can call to the dispatch and you tell them to pick you up at a specific zone, and then it will take you to a specific zone. So it works really similarly, but instead of being for people with disabilities or seniors, it can be used by everybody. So the Department of Transportation is, I think they said they hope to do 5 to 8 of these pilot programs throughout the state. What else did I want to say about this? But yeah, it's pretty much to
Talk about the same cost.
the cost will depend on the specific program. There's a lot of things that will depend on the specific program of each pilot. But the idea is to bring service to underserved communities and kind of create some better connections to the existing bus network. There's no action or anything on this. I just wanted everybody to be aware of it because it relates a lot to what GWTD is, and I think everybody should keep an eye on it going forward.
Thanks, Elliot. Okay, is there anything else that's going on that anybody wants to talk about? All right, so our next meeting is June 14th, and again, that will be over Zoom. And can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll
Joanne
second.
and Mary. Thanks, everybody. Next time we'll just be on Zoom and we'll all be able to hear each other. Okay. All right.
Have a nice day,
Everybody have
Mary.
a great day.
Obviously,
Betty, thank you.
each
Bye-bye.
other, because of the building, okay.